Yo there, Internet, MegaMogwai here, and I got another Legends of Runeterra video for you guys today. And today we're going to embrace our inner 12-year-olds yet again, as we are back with some good old YASUO. A new version of YASUO that I was very inspired by a deck that, actually it's not down here, right? It's like up, where is this deck? Oh, there we go. For a second, I was like, did I delete it or something? This is a new version of YASUO, even though it's not the first time that I showcase YASUO with Targan. Whenever I showcase YASUO with Targan, it's always been a Leona YASUO variant, right? And the other day, I don't know if you guys can recall, some of you may actually, I ran into a Zoe YASUO deck that I found very interesting. Now, I didn't like the approach of just slapping in a bunch of like lifesteal units and calling it a deck. And also, I think they were also playing stuff like the Soloy Shield Baron, amongst other things. Regardless, what I did like about that combination is it got me thinking, and I realized that there's more than one way to play YASUO within Targan. It's not just Leona. You can also focus on running Zoe and the likes of Spacey Sketcher and the Fangs, here we go, because these cards can fetch a Celestial card known as Crescent Strike. Crescent Strike is very good with YASUO because it allows us to stun 2 enemies for just 3 mana. And this card not only can allow us to help us level up YASUO quickly or remove remove certain like weak units from the opposing board with YASUO on the field. We can also use it to buff our Fey Blade Twirlers, get them from 1 attack to 5 with just 1 3-mana play. So I think this is honestly like a good enough reason to go outside of the Leona shell, because what I don't like about the Leona shell is that it's a little bit rigid, right? Regarding deck building, there's not much leeway, and the gameplay is very, like, static. You're just playing units on curve. Leona is probably my least favorite champion in the game. I'm gonna go ahead and make use of this by saying that I also don't really like Tryndamere. I get a lot, like, it's one of the most baffling things to me, honestly. I get so many requests for Tryndamere decks, and I don't really understand where this comes. It must come from love towards the character, right? Because Tryndamere is also one of the most boring champions by far. Like, he's just a big, overwhelmed champion. Like, even Darius is more exciting because with Darius you can play stuff like Apprehend, right? And Noxus allows you for some really cool, combos as well. But Tryndamere is just an A4 with like, you just play him in control decks or in overwhelmed decks, and that's basically it. And I don't know, I feel like there's so many more interesting, like, one of the things that really upsets me, for example, is that whenever I upload a Lulu video, it gets very little views, despite the fact that she's one of the most fascinating champions in my opinion. But I'm not gonna continue to whine about what people like or not and why their views don't align with mine. Like, that's I can't expect that from people, right? But I just want to speak out and kind of let you guys know me a little bit better in regards to what champions I like to play with. And like I said, I don't like Leona because Leona forces me to run a bunch of Daybreak units, and Daybreak is the opposite of Nightfall, not only in the senses that you're thinking, but also in the regards to like dullness. Like, Daybreak is super dull while Nightfall is super interesting. I love Diana Nocturne. Nightfall as an archetype. I think is one of the most fascinating archetypes in the game, while Daybreak is just boring. It's just straightforward and boring, and I didn't really want to go back to Leona YASUO. So the notion of being able to build a non-Noxus version of YASUO without Leona and Targan was very appealing to me. And this is the final version of the deck. I put a lot of work into this, and I'm really proud of this build. So let me explain a few things about the cards that we have here and why I chose the cards that I chose. One of the first details that you may notice is that we have a lot of 2-ofs in this deck. And the main reason for that is Zoe. We want to be able to threaten our opponent with a Zoe level up. So by having a bunch of 2-ofs, we're not really sacrificing that much consistency, but we are enhancing the ability to go or complete Zoe's level up requirement, right? We have a couple of copies of Gifts from Beyond, which is a really neat card in this deck, not only because we can get Gravitum, which can, if applied onto the right target, can stun that target twice, which allows us to buff up our Fey Blade Twirlers and our Yasuo's, buff up Fey Blade Twirler and progress Yasuo's level up by 2 stages. It also allows us to get the likes of Infernum, for example. Infernum can be used onto a very strong Fey Blade Twirler that we spent all game building up, and all of a sudden she has Overwhelm. Quick attack Overwhelm with a monstrous power stat is something to behold, and it's really nice to have that option as well. I also like the fact that we could go for Lifesteal too. We could apply Lifesteal onto YASUO and then start, stunning and swinging our arms around as we fake sword strikes and stuff. You know, I mean, I do that. I would like to believe everybody else does, so I don't feel so weird about it. But Sivir helps us, you know, get have another resource against aggro that can be really, really, especially because a lot of aggro decks right now are very linear in regards to gameplay, so they don't have much interaction, and they don't have many ways of stopping Sivir play, right? So I really like Gifts from Beyond this deck. I also like the fact that it can very easily allow us to enable the Nightfall from the Cloven Way, which is a card, one of the few cards that we're running as a 3 of in this deck. I really like this unit. It also helps us level up YASUO. Again, another effect that stuns and potentially stuns twice, which is really important in this deck because we're not playing stuff like Intimidating Roar, so we have to, you know, slowly but steadily level up YASUO, right? But stun effects that come from one source that stun twice, I think I've explained why they're so good at this point, and I don't have to repeat myself, right? But Cloven Way allows us to not only that, but also apply some offensive pressure with that Overwhelm and that decent enough stat line, which you're getting at the expense of this really strong ability. So I really like this card in this deck for that reason. We're also playing, as you guys can see, a couple of copies of Shadow Assassin and Solari Priestess. We got a couple of copies of Mountain Goat, mainly to give us gems, which can be used to be discarded by Spacey Sketcher. Blade Twirler, on the other hand, is a full set because this card is one of our main sources of damage output. Like, this is an investment, right? Early on, Blade Twirler doesn't really do much at all, but then once we start getting our stuns going off, she just becomes really, really menacing and is very neat in this deck, and any YASUO deck, really. Even though she also represents a bit of a weakness of this archetype, and that is that as a 2-drop, she is underwhelming until you get some stuns going off, and you need to have a right amount of stuns in the deck to be able to actually get good value out of her. One thing to note is that even though this is a stun deck with YASUO, we can actually win without that because we're targeted. So we got a lot of invoking going around. We got a couple of copies of Star Shaping alongside the Fangs, Solari Priestess, like I mentioned, Zoe, Spacey Sketcher. So we have alternate win conditions, which is really important because not every game you're going to draw YASUO. In some games, you may even draw 3 YASUOs and all 3 die because your opponent has every single answer in the book. You need other ways to be able to apply pressure. And it is true that if we do lose YASUO with this deck, we lose quite a bit of power, right? Which is what keeps this deck out of high tier status. Even though YASUO is a really good 4-drop on his own, the thing is he requires you to run a lot of stuns. And that's what I'm trying to mitigate here with the flexibility that Targan and Zoe herself provide us with, right? That's why I really liked that deck when I ran into it. I thought it was very interesting, but even though it was very different from this one. We have a couple of copies of Homecoming. I think this card is very underrated right now. It counters a lot of stuff, like even like Nasus, for example, onto Atrocity. It can counter, the Watcher. It can just do a lot of really neat stuff, and I really, really like it. We also have Yone right here, as I like him as our high-end play, which he can allow us to finish off the game or defend ourselves against a very nasty attack. And that's basically it. When it comes to mulligans, you got to keep in mind that obviously having Zoe in the opener hand is really neat. Having your Blade Twirlers accessible as well is really important. But one of the key things I would say is finding YASUO, really. In most matchups, you really want YASUO. He's just a good offensive pressure, and he's one of the most key components of the deck, naturally. So sometimes you may be encouraged to mulligan aggressively for him. Stuff like Deny, Homecoming, Star Shaping, and some of our later curve plays like Cloven Way and Yone are cards that the vast majority of the time you're going to be wanting to mulligan away unless you're facing a high-end control deck like Shadow Owls, Lysandra, Trundle, for example. Then you want to keep your Denies in hand. And, the same goes for cards like Hush as well. You have to assess the matchup and react accordingly. The mulligan is very straightforward with this deck. I don't really think there's much more to it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all I have to say. Keep it in under 10 minutes. All right, not bad. Even after that ramble at the beginning. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Leave a like if you did. It's been a while since you saw YASUO, so hopefully some of you are satisfied because I have been getting some YASUO requests as of late, and I love playing this champion, so I don't mind. And that's all I gotta say. Have a solid day. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for daily Legends of Runeterra content and my outro rap, which sounds like a rap. And I'm gonna stop talking because I don't even know what to say anymore. Love ya. Have a solid day. Enjoy the games, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so Zoe Demacia should be a pretty good matchup for us. We got double Blade Twirler. I like the Notify as well. I'm going to drop the Star Shaping, and we're going to see if we can pick up some stuns. Nice. We got to be wary of their challengers, naturally. So we got to be careful with playing Zoe. We gotta be careful with playing Zoe, Faye, on their attack turn, right?
impressed? Cute.
Alright, no Dragon Guard Lieutenant. I could play Solari Priestess, but I want to go W.
Don't let the fluffy tails fool ya.
I'm gonna take the hit. Because he doesn't get another super cool star chart, which is really important. I'm gonna take the Traveler. Right now I don't have as much substance. Even though Meteor Shower is nice and all to get rid of Zoe, I'd like to believe I have other ways of doing that. Like, I have Homecoming, right? So if she actually starts becoming a threat, then I can just, like, answer her that way. Even though the Challenger is nice, we take the Crescent Strike. And now we pass. Because we're down, like, mana by... we're down a lot, right?
Each journey is a discovery.
It's playing a lot of the same cards as of right now.
The order rewards its faithful.
Oh, we got our own Zoe now. I think this is a good timing for this, right? I mean, we could start working for our own Zoe.
Reality is just your mind crumbling under what it doesn't understand, silly!
Why not? Is this as big of an issue? I don't think so.
Underestimate. I dare you.
No.
Keep searching.
We attack with you first because if he wants to block with the fangs, he doesn't get any health. Nice, nice. See, we don't have to go for the meteor shower for Zoe. We can just force them to block with her. That was a fantastic turn for us. That meteor shower that we got out of him. We also know what he pulled through Solari Priestess, and we know one of the two cards. I think my best bet here is to play you. I mean, Scourge is incoming soon, and this deck has a really hard time dealing with it, right?
The mountain knows me. I am the traveler.
This is a massive threat. It's perfect.
Sunlight guide you, my brethren.
And now we play the Cloven way.
Here's our chance.
If he were to have like a judgment, we have a counter for that with Homecoming. He may be packing up for a judgment. That could be the thing. We're going in.
Back, heretic. Believe or burn.
God, I'm predicting everything here. So I like Homecoming. I'm not worried about Zoe leveling up, so I like the idea of Homecoming. Because, well, Zoe survives. It allows me to recycle that, right? Got him. Really happy with how I played this one, man. And no fake quote. I don't know why I was waiting for it. Go for another one. Alright, aggro! Come at me. Come at me, Burn. We're gonna drop Deny, we're gonna drop the Cloven Way, and Shadow Assassin, arguably. Yeah, I'm gonna drop Shadow Assassin as well. Like I need to see if I can find the good stuff. And by good stuff I mean 1 drops and 2 drops. And stun effects. YASUO is also like YASUO is probably the most important because they have less interaction to deal with YASUO. So us drawing to YASUO is really important. So mulligan aggressively for YASUO. That's one of the main problems with YASUO decks because we commit a lot to stuns.
Explosives prime.
We have a good blocker for that in Blade Thriller though. So if he doesn't open attack, we have the means.
Don't let the fluffy tails fool you.
I'll shoot the wings off of Biltwas. Finger on the trigger. Ha!
Take a little bit of damage, but that's fine. I'm sacrificing a little bit of momentum by not being able to play my Mountain Goat, but I was searching for the Serpent, basically. I wanted the Serpent. I'm gonna take a lot of damage here. We have to Concussive Palm. With Concussive Palm, though, we can block effectively. We're gonna be using Zoe defensively onto the Legion Saboteur, and we're gonna be blocking into that. Or maybe we just, or I get to use Crescent Strike.
Never see it coming.
All right.
Everything's in place.
I don't know why the ordering there matters, but
How can Captain's orders? Bullet to the face. Come on, Zoe, what's your name?
we don't have Notify as of right now. Okay, that's fine.
Here's our chance. Damn it.
I mean, it's not fine, but that could have been directed at our face.
Reporting in.
I really need to pick a Serpent. Like, I need to find a Serpent here. For fuck's sake. Okay, we gotta go with you then. I just cannot.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty sparkle fly.
Cannot find the Serpent.
Gotta go with the flow.
It's just not a thing.
Boom!
That was my alarm. I think the destroyer has to be what we go for. Right?
Trickster never loses because Zoe makes the roses!
Fortune favors the bold.
One. 9. I didn't count correctly. We're gonna try to force some trades here. We're threatening lethal. We have the gem as well, which we will be using here. And we're gonna basically use offense as our source of defense.
That passed me.
I don't know if that was correct, man. Because I wonder if we can stop this lethal.
Came a long way.
Yeah, that's not gonna do it.
We live here.
Oh, I didn't realize. Oh wait.
Gotcha in my sights.
Oh, we do force. Yeah, I forgot he has an elusive blocker. I got so caught up in that. But the thing is, he can't, like right now.
This doesn't change a damn thing between us.
If you insist.
Just play Yone.
I have come for the unforgiven.
Why am I playing Crescent Strike when I have a 6/6? All right.
Your king has returned.
You may have returned, Gangplank, but you're not going anywhere. Oh, that was terrible.
Fresh out of mercy.
He needs the damage.
Your end is my duty.
And we have Homecoming. We have Homecoming to counter.
Will shed a tear. Barrel.
Homecoming to counter a Noxian Fervor.
Face your fate. Troyan won't do any good.
So unless he has double Noxian Fervor, we kill him. Gotcha. Got him, baby! Woo! Clean. No YASUO, but other things worked. Leblanc, Sivir. Sivir. Yeah, somebody told me that it's the same. It sounds the same as Sivir. So I was actually saying her name correctly at first. We're gonna do a full mulligan. Even though Homecoming could be pretty good, we're gonna mulligan it away as we try to find a bit of an earlier curve. And we do succeed somewhat in that, as we have Mountain Goat. By the way, star shaping absolutely crucial. Like we were able to beat Pirate Aggro just now because of it, right?
Would you look at this place? What a shame for you!
I'm okay with these two trading. Like I would like to get the Spacey Sketcher, but I'm not gonna discard something. When I can just have a free discard outlet there.
Trickster never loses because Zoe makes the roses!
We prioritize Zoe because we do want to threaten with her level up naturally. I could play the Spacey SketchUp, but I'd rather develop the
Time to make an appearance.
Benjamins. I could have gone with a gem here, but no, I want to preserve this gem as a discard outlet
Think you're fast? Cute.
as we play the Fateblade Twirler.
The desert by my side.
and Stomper playing catch with Zoe. I'm a serious artist now.
Surprised
It's
to see
Purple
me.
It's fine. Somebody's calling. Hachi's probably going crazy. I'm gonna go with you here. Prevent some damage that way. This will pump up our...
Now who's got the upper hand?
Slowing down her level up. I'm not gonna reveal our serpent just yet.
Riddle me something cool. So much tinier than my space doggy.
Sun's beneath me and wind's behind me.
Danger noodle.
And now we get to nullify the Rolling Sands because we didn't rush the serpent, right? That's a big deal. Now we don't have to worry about like our sequencing because we don't want to have a vulnerable unit because of that. And Zoe's getting closer and closer. I'm worried about the striking card. I could play the Shadow Assassin, but I don't want to leave myself tapped out. I wanna make him a bit paranoid in that sense. He could have a Whirling Death.
Ship time.
But if that's the case, whatever.
I will run you over.
Okay, he has the bloody business.
My board!
The order rewards its fate.
I'm gonna play Shadow Assassin. To cycle through my deck since I have 6 mana next, this turn anyways.
My move.
He could have drawn another Bloody Business, but we know he doesn't have Whirling Death because he would have gone for Whirling Death instead of Bloody Business. So that gives us good information, right? When you play somebody, you gotta keep in mind, like, if you understand the archetype, if you know what they run, then by the plays they're going for, you can make certain assumptions, right? Like he went for Bloody Business when he could have gone for a Whirling Death, which would have been cheaper and is more restricted in regards to when you can play it. But because we use this in the combat phase, we know that he doesn't have that unless you top decked it now. And that also goes with stuff like, you know, some Shadow Owls plays with Vile Feast and stuff. Like, you can reach certain conclusions. We take the Crescent Strike. It'll empower our Fateblade Twirler. Alright, I wasn't expecting that, but I mean, that's stun though. So, he just wanted to remove. So, it's like the threat of Zoe is so big, which means he doesn't have another Bloody Business. Which means this may be the right turn to Crescent Strike, because we force him to trade Leblanc if we do this. But we can't start off with you. I mean, I like double star shaping though, is the thing. Like, there's nothing that I really want to discard here, so let's do this. Huh. Now I really want to discard. I'm gonna take a Concussive Palm out of the way.
One star's whoopsie is another spark.
I dare you.
I should have targeted this because I'm gonna. Whatever.
Try to keep up. Here comes someone you're almost weak.
That's what I was worried about.
I am everywhere. I am everyone.
I could have just targeted, like, the reason why I went with this is because I targeted the wrong thing. I should have targeted the little spider so I could threaten that.
Now who's got the upper hand?
We got the Notify, which is nice in case he finds like Whirling Death or something. We're not really worried about Leblanc right now. Like we have, like I said, we have Concussive Palm. I want to keep double Star Shaping because if the game somehow drags out really like a lot, then I have extra fuel here. But I didn't execute that turn all that well. Like I should have targeted the little spider. I should have dragged the big spider out, and I should have just forced the trade with that.
Chase what you want without mercy.
Can trade you into you. Good pass.
What a treat.
Because you gotta attack.
Ooh, you're interesting.
This Phoenix should just win us a game at this point. Because he needs like double bloody business. Like this deck does not do well against late game elusive finishers, especially ones that don't die. And we even have the Gris from Beyond that can give us a. But I mean, we don't need it, right? But in that case, we could have resorted to that. I kind of want to keep the Notify. No, you know what? Go big or go home. Let's go all in, baby. In case there's like something weird like quicksand. You could have quicksand, you know? Yeah, you could have quicksand. This plays around quicksand. Now it needs double quicksand. Alright, it took him a while. Maybe he was accepting. Yeah. Got him. I'm facing some spicy decks today. Zoe Taric. I mean, anything with Taric is considered spicy. I'm gonna keep the Hush because this is the kind of matchup where it definitely puts in the work. We're gonna mulligan away Yone and keep everything else. Ah, there's your boy.
Reality is just your mind crumbling under what it doesn't understand, silly.
Mine's prismatic. I mean, I'm obviously gonna block here.
So dizzy.
I do want to develop the Mountain Goat. Well, it seems like a mirror right now. I mean, we're both Targan. We're playing Targan stuff.
I bear a message from. Oh, hey, what's that?
Think you're fast? Cute.
Alright, so now the tides turn a little bit.
Sleep is for the guilty.
We're gonna play YASUO.
Don't worry, I am here.
You could have a
Life and death are
I'm gonna go for the gem just so that he can't go for Pale Cascade.
Riddle me something cool.
Underestimate me. I dare you.
Even though I miss out on a little bit of tempo myself.
Is a leaf's only purpose to fall?
You could go for a Crescent strike here.
Here's our chance.
That's fine. Like, that's a resource that we got out of him.
Beauty and life.
My shield is yours.
We have Hush. Gotta keep in mind that we have Hush.
The order rewards its faithful.
Look sharp.
Honor guide me.
Never submit. Haseki!
Now, who's got the upper hand?
Big blade for a little warrior.
Underestimate me. I dare you.
I could have gone for the Hush, but he had more resources. All right. Let's stop this Zoe at all costs. So he doesn't have a Ikazura strike. I'm not sure if my approach was correct here.
Stand resolute. My cunning lessons.
They cannot hide. Shield up.
Dazzling. Unyielding. To preserve beauty and protect all life.
Oh, it's on.
Hope you brought friends.
This Hush really saving us here. Like this Zoe leveling up would have been a huge problem. And we're gonna try to bait something out of him. Oh man. I don't know if I approached that correctly, honestly. But
One step closer to redemption.
exactly. This is a really cool matchup. Because our stuns can definitely put in the work here, since it is a very, like, it's a deck that wins by attacking, right? But it's also a deck that can outpace us potentially, so we gotta be smart with our mulligans here. I'm gonna drop the Cloven Way, I'm gonna keep YASUO. The Fangs is also nice, but I already have a 4-drop here. So I'm gonna keep Spacey Sketcher and YASUO. No need to rush our Spacey Sketcher. Let's do that. That's annoying.
death is like the wind.
Always by my side.
Find your own light within the darkness.
Yours is a light I cherish. Sister.
And now we go for the Crescent Strike. He's trying to burn me now, but we do have some health gain here.
Welcome to try.
Alright, we stop one of them with our YASUO thickness.
I bear a message from. Oh, hey, what's that? Ship time.
I think I'm at a point where I have to start, you know. Okay. He could be building up for Doom Beasts, but I don't have to resort to a, because I was thinking about a Severum here, right? I want to go with the Messenger just to keep drawing a little bit. This turn I have 6 mana, so I can Messenger into double Steel Tempest potentially. There's more health gain. That's good. We're looking pretty good here. I do believe this is a very winnable matchup for us. So we just gotta keep going. Play it safe. Make sure that we keep enough mana to defend ourselves.
Raise your weapon, Sunwit.
Like, we don't need to play anything right now. He still has mana advantage over us. He's only spent 1. Like, he's trying to use the passing. But the thing is, I know he needs to attack eventually. That's how his deck wins. He needs to attack. So I gotta do shit
Darkness hides.
until there's an actual attack I'm scared of. I'm not scared of this attack. That's nothing. That's bullshit. That's weak. Because I block with my fangs into this. I go to 15. And then I don't have to block the rest. I go down to 11, and that's fine.
Forgive me.
May as well. Asedio! I don't know why it reminds me of like Sevillanas. Asedio! That doesn't make any sense, but I could go for, like, I don't have to, that's the thing also, like, I don't have to go for the Gravitums right now. Let's play Messengers, have more options. That house is very, very nice as well. We're slowly but surely creeping up on the level up here. We want to wait for, like, we want to target something like a Crescent Guardian with Crescendum. Something that has more than 2 health. That way we can push for the YASUO level up and we actually gain value out of the removal as well. He just used this to enable Nightfall. Okay. Oh. Well, that's... Oh, Unspeakable Horror created. I'm like, he's running that? That's pretty cheeky. Gravitum. Doesn't matter, like, we don't have Aphelios, so phasing is pretty relevant. Yeah, Gazer 1, right? This allows us to pick off this unit.
Some things never dull. The guilty were bad.
Alright.
We will be free.
Forces some trades there. He is able to stun our lifesteal for next turn, so he is building up. I'm gonna make use of my mana, even though he knows that now I have Gravitum. Like, I've given him information, right? But I want to be really efficient with my mana, because that's 1 mana that I will lose for next turn. So I may as well use it now to trigger the weapon. We level up now. Finally. We're inside, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! That's a top deck. I think we're ready for this attack. When you're playing YASUO, man, you love running to decks like this. Decks that are just like attacking. It's great.
Mother Moon veil.
It's fine. I'm not impressed. Only when his attack truly becomes scary will I play my cards. That's how you win these matchups. You don't like the only way he's gonna have a chance against me here is if I mess up and I overcommit, right? But just think about it. What's the worst case scenario? Two attackers, 4 damage. Is that really that bad? Not really. Because now we do this. I'm gonna take the Scourge. We still stay healthy, like we make sure that we don't lose something like Atrocity. We got lifesteal from this guy. We're not gonna be able to play this guy next turn, but we can play him the following turn.
Does the wind flee?
Or does it follow? I personally don't know. The wind is just the wind. Like I think they're taking too much drugs, but whatever. I wanted to play Yone because we got the card back, so they are the Crescent Bros. That's the name of the deck. I don't know, man. I play YASUO so many times, like I run out of ideas for names. I thought Crescent Bros sounded cool. We're gonna go for Yone. We're gonna start being a little bit aggressive here, since our opponent is trying to navigate around that. Shit never gets old. We still got the Gravitum.
They tried to blind me with resplendence, but they could not break me. Question all that you are told.
Diana is definitely a win condition for him. So I don't think he wants to block with her. Unless he has another one, man. But getting this Fangs to connect is really important. And I don't know if he can stop this. Like, he could have Hush. But wasting a Hush just for a lifesteal, I mean, maybe that's his only path to victory. But that's way too brutal. That's way too brutal. Oh, and we got the Cloven away. We have so many answers right now. We got boom, boom, and then we got boom, boom. We don't have the mana for everything, though. We do want to grab him. Because we're going to remove the blockers. Yes, now!
Your end is my duty.
And now I'm not taking any damage. There's no need for me to take any more damage and be vulnerable to like a weird atrocity Yu-Gi-Oh lethal. Soryaku-kun! We got the Cloven way to clean up whatever he wants to develop here to defend. I'm pretty certain he has an atrocity, right? Like that's how he wins the game. He tries to... Okay. We don't mind, like, this is gonna die, so he needs to play another one, and then we'll knock it out with this.
Embrace the light.
Now we Cloven. our way to victory. Atrocity could be a thing, but he needs like 4 mana to set up this amount of damage, so I'm gonna play it for cool points. I want my big deck. I mean, if he enables this, like he could go for like another. I know we have another Doom Beast, right? But he's already played 2 Unto Dusk. So there's just no combination that allows him to kill me here. Good sport. GG, man.
I will regain my honor.
He's never happy. He's never content.